This month I was supposed to get some good sleep, but my roof is keeping me awake, so let's talk about that instead. I'm trying to keep the podcast brief this week. I know they're not usually the longest of things, but I've got a wedding to go to on Friday, which means I've got even less time to work on this than normal. I can't remember if I mentioned it. I can't remember if it was just before last month's podcast or just afterwards, but towards the end of last month, the boiler broke. Again. I say again because, in case you don't remember, it also broke at Christmas. We were over Christmas mostly without heating. We did get it fixed, but even then, after getting it fixed the first time, it turned out that it was just like basically full of shit. Like it was full of so much stuff that it was like blocking up the pipe so you couldn't get any hot water anywhere. We got that fixed and then it started leaking, so we had to get someone to come around and fix that. Then, at the end of last month, it broke again, where it would just randomly turn off, and we had no idea why. So that took, I think it took us about 2 weeks to get someone to come and fix it then. They finally came around, and it turns out that it was installed wrong in the first place, but we got it installed like nearly 15 years ago, and it's only just started being a problem, so we have no idea why that happened. Basically, they'd installed some of the wires the wrong way round. So what was happening was, there's like an electronic gate that opens and closes, and that's what lets the water in and out. And the way it's supposed to go is power goes to the boiler, and then the boiler supplies power to the gate. But somehow it had been run in the opposite order, so the cable was supplying power to the gate and then to the boiler. And what that meant is that when the gate was closed, it was turning off the boiler. It's just really fucking stupid. So all it did was switch them back around, and it started working again. It did also need servicing at that point, and they just replaced some parts, which was still a bit annoying, but anyway. So it started working again. Except, then, it started leaking again, from a different place this time. So we had to get someone around to come and fix that. And then they came and fixed that, and now, at least at the moment, the boiler's working again. But also, while all of that was going on, I noticed that my roof seemed to be leaking. I've mentioned before that I live in like what's essentially a ground floor flat, but it's not just a ground floor flat. It's also like, it used to be a garage, which means it's got its own roof separate than the main roof of the house. And that roof is over the entire bit, but primarily over the bedroom. So while I'm trying to sleep, I can hear this drip just every now and again, and it's woken me up a few times, and sometimes it's just like once or twice, and other times it seems to go on for hours, and I just have no idea why. This eventually meant that I had to go up in the attic that we've got, so I could try and find the leak. Other than the guy who installed our bathroom, which I think I've talked about how much I hate, because he did a really bad job, but anyway, that's besides the point at the moment. Other than them, no one has been up there. One other person has had a quick look up there, so they knew it wasn't very big, but no one has been up there. So I went to the shop and bought one of those big paper oversuit things, just because I had no idea what to expect when I went up there. I was kind of expecting it to be full of bugs, and luckily for me, it wasn't. There was a lot of cobwebs, weirdly, only around the opening to the room. Once I got further into the attic, there was nothing. So that was at least not as bad as I was expecting. It was, though, incredibly dusty. And it also had no floor, which means I was crawling around on loose insulation and the roof joists. And what that means is that if you put any weight not on a joist, you'll just fall through the ceiling. And at its highest was like 3 feet, and then it sloped downwards. So it started at 3 feet and ended at basically nothing. So I could barely even get across the roof. So I actually only really had one direction I could move in. What I ended up doing was taking some shelves. I had just some like loose shelves. I took those up and ended up using those as like a floor, and lay those down and then slid across them. I was using the upper joists and like pulling myself along on my back, and it worked. It wasn't as unpleasant as I expected, but it wasn't exactly nice. I also found a plug socket up there, which was just kind of random. It had a aerial signal booster plugged into it. It wasn't turned on. We don't use it anyway, but we just didn't know it was there. I brought that down now, and at least now I know when I next go up there, I might take a lamp with me. I did have a lamp. What I mean is, I ran an extension and took a hoover and a lamp up with me, but what I might do next time is get a cheap lamp or something and leave it plugged in up there all the time, so that next time I have to go up there I can just turn it on. I've got a light up there all the time then. So I was up there for a good few hours and just didn't find anything. It was surprisingly not nice, because it was nicer than I expected up there. I was expecting it to be really damp and to have like holes all over the roof, and I just saw nothing. It looked perfect, which is really annoying because I can still hear the leak. So we've definitely still got a problem. I just now have no idea where it is. My current plan is to try and get some more wood to use as an actual floor and install a floor up there. And then once there's an actual floor up there, I can now also have a proper, an easier look around when I'm not worried about falling through the ceiling all the fucking time. Even if I do that, though, I'm still not really going to be able to get across the roof, I'm only really going to be able to get further down. It'll help a little bit, but it's not going to help that much. One of the more annoying parts of that day was that even just to get up there, I had to rearrange big sections of my bedroom because the loft hatch was directly above a big bookcase. So I had to take everything off the bookcase because it was a double size one. It's not like a thin one, it was quite big. So I couldn't just move it. So I had to take everything off it and move it out of the way just so I could get up there. And then once I'd finished crawling around up there for hours, come back down and then put everything back on the bookcase again. It was just a very stressful day. Oh yeah, and there's also a problem where even if I put the floor up there, the cables up there, for the lights in the ceiling, are awful. They're really tightly run, but they're also run rubbing on the joists. Usually you'd notch out space or drill a hole through the joist and run the cables through it, and just no one's done that. They're running undulations over the joists, so they go up over it and then down under it along the entire room. So I'm going to have to, when I get the floor, I'm going to have to either notch out space in the floor panels or notch out space in the joists for the cables to run, because obviously I can't put weight on the cables because it'll just ruin the cable. But house is just fucked. Outside of struggles with the house though, I've played a few games. I've finally finished Sunbreak, which is good. It feels kind of weird not playing that every day, because I literally did for nearly 4 years. So now I'm not doing it, it just feels strange. I feel like I'm missing something every day. At the same time, it's nice. I just got so tired of it by the end that now I don't have to do it. It's a nice break, especially with Wilds coming out next year, so I'm just probably not going to touch anything in that genre until next year. That being said, Granblue looks interesting, but I don't know if I'll bother with that. Some people tried to convince me to do the anomaly quests, but honestly, I just don't care. I think they were trying to insinuate that there's hunts that I've not done, but I know I have. I've hunted every monster in the game. I've not hunted all the anomaly versions of those monsters, but I don't really care about that. But I have hunted every monster in the game, so that's good enough for me. I also started and have finished recording my next LP, which by now you'll know is Coffee Talk Episode 2. I'm not sure if I like it more than the first game. I do in some ways and I don't in others. I do like that Freya isn't in it, because she's easily my least favourite character. I just found her really annoying in the first one. I do like all the new characters they've added though. Riona's probably my favourite. I just thought she was nice. I was actually going to use her as my avatar for it, but it was a nightmare drawing around her hair, so I chose Lucas instead. I've been playing a lot of Chillquarium, but that doesn't really require much of me. It just sort of runs itself in the background and I just go and check it every now and again and buy new fish and sell old ones, and that's about it. I'll just keep doing it. I want to get every fish. I don't know if I actually will. I'll probably get bored once I've got all of the tanks, but until that point, I'll just keep playing. I've also been playing a lot of Helldivers 2, but I'm probably going to stop playing that soon. While I'm playing it, it's alright, but I'm just getting kind of tired of it. I'm only playing with random people online, and I've been having more and more issues with them recently. More often than not, it's fine. But the times when it's not are so annoying that it puts me off playing at all now. I had one guy who got really mad at us because we didn't do all of the optional objectives in the mission before we tried to extract. So he just killed all of us. He just started shooting all of us at the base, and I was like, why? We didn't really understand why he did it. He's just being a dick for no reason. And then I had another guy, and this one was today actually, where we were doing one of those the short missions where it's just kill a load of bugs. We had to kill 350 of them, and we were at 300. So we were right near the end. And this guy called down one of the mechs, and then died. So I got in the mech, and he got really mad at me. I could see him in chat getting mad at me about it. But I killed the other 50. So we were fine. We finished the mission. But he then got really mad at me, and then killed me when he respawned. And then for some reason, that even crashed my game. So, I don't know, it's fine. I'm not really enjoying it enough to deal with people being dicks about it as well. So, maybe I'll play a bit more, but I don't know if I really want to. The main thing that I'm still playing, though, is Baldur's Gate 3. And I think I'm getting near the end now. There's only 10 quests in my journal that I've not done. Granted, that could just be because I've not found them, but I'm pretty confident that I'm not that far off. I'm in Act 3, obviously. Most of the map is revealed, because I tend to do it. I reveal a section of the map, do the quests in the area, and then reveal another section of the map, just because that helps me keep the flow in my head. I have got 2 of the Netherstones. There's the one that you get at the end of Act 2, and I've got 1 more. I have done most of the companion quests. I've not done all of them, but I've done most of them, and I've got Astarion and Will's left to do. Are there any others? I don't know if Lae'zel's is technically finished. I have the stuff with Orpheus to do, just because I'm not really sure how that's going to affect the rest of the game, so I'm kind of leaving that until right near the end, and then I'll decide what to do about that closer to the time when I need to. But I don't know. I feel like I'm getting most stuff done. I think I've unlocked all the waypoints. That is, besides 2 more that I know of. Just because, like, it's getting to the point now where I'm not, like, looking up guides and stuff, but I am, like, I looked up, like, how many waypoints there were. So I think there's, like, 13 and I've got 11 of them or something like that. There's not many that I'm missing. I just want to get it done. It's not even bad, but I've got, like, over 130 hours into it now, and I feel still like I'm nowhere near the end, even though I kind of hope that I am, and really want to be. As for the channel, Sunbreak has finished, like I mentioned earlier, and Coffee Talk Episode 2 has taken its place. I've already finished recording that too. That'll take us till the end of April, and then another new LP will start in May. I already know what that's going to be. You can maybe guess what that's going to be. I think I might have mentioned somewhere what that might be, but anyway, it's pretty obvious. So far, my streak of weekly sponsored videos has continued, which is nice, and it's satisfying, if ultimately kind of meaningless, because I don't really get anything for it. I mean, I get new games. They're not always the best games. Some of them have been good. Some of them haven't been. I think it's a lot more obvious now that I'm still being honest of my opinions of these games, considering I've actively said to not buy multiple of them. I've been seeing a little bit of an uptick everywhere in performance, which is nice. Although now Instagram seems mad at me for uploading too much. I've actually uploaded less recently because I've finally finished catching up on videos, but it's now too much for them. Apparently uploading 7 videos a week is too fast for them to handle, and they've decided to block me from uploading videos for a bit. So, yeah, actually it will be today. If there is no sentence today on Instagram, that's because of them. It's ready. It's going up everywhere else, but they just won't let me upload it for some reason. Hopefully I'll have that fixed before then, though. TikTok's also got this weird issue where every now and again one of my videos will get 0 views. I don't know why. It's really annoying, and it doesn't seem to be anything I can do about it. Because it's not just a matter of not showing it in the feed. It's also a matter of, like, even if I know people have watched it, it will just report 0. There's nothing I can do about that. Needless to say, considering where I'm at and the conversation I've just had, we're definitely not doing the Game of the Year video this month. Maybe in May, but again, not until after Baldur's Gate's finished, and I have no idea how much longer that's going to take me. Besides that, everything's going to continue. My streams are going to carry on. I have to eventually go back to doing Blue Mage stuff. I think next week is the 16 event, so it'll be after that. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm actively putting off going back to doing Blue Mage stuff. It's literally the very last quest, but I hate Blue Mage so much that I just don't want to do it. Also, we got the release date for Dawn Trail now, and I've not decided for sure, but I've got like a tentative plan of how my streams are going to go for that. I'll talk more about that near the time, though. Other than that, I think that's everything. Special thanks to all of my patrons. You can join them over at patreon.com/Holden Gatsby, and for $1 a month you'll get to see what I'm working on early and get exclusive roles in my Discord along with other rewards I might think of. You can also just follow me there if you want to for free, as it's probably the best place to see all of my content as soon as it's available. There's links to the Patreon along with my Discord, Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, Twitch, and all the other podcast platforms in the description for this episode. Finally, don't forget you can email me using podencastby@gmail.com if you've got anything you want to say. Thanks for sticking around. Bye. Special thanks to my patrons, Justin Wood, Hobbs, and Koopy Vegeta. You can join my patrons at patreon.com/Holden Gatsby, check out my TikTok and Twitter @Holden Gatsby, and follow me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Holden Gatsby. Don't forget to subscribe to all of my channels. If you want more, you can watch my last video now, but if not, then thanks for sticking around. Bye.